Welcome back in one of the Bears Forever Plays YouTube channel. Today is Saturday, November 23rd, and I'm back breaking down a few more plays for some college football. We have a lot of great games today. It was actually pretty hard to pick and choose which ones I was going to break down. I decided on 6 total games, 3 total player props, but there are a lot more games. So if you have any comments, concerns, if you want my advice on anything, just drop something down in the comment section. If you don't want my advice and you just tell me what games to pick, let me know that too, because I'll probably just jump in your hole and take those games with you. So anything you want in the comment section, just let me know down below. Before we get into our plays for Saturday, let's take a look at the matchups we have on Friday night. We currently have UTSA minus 16.5, San Jose State plus 7.5, Nick Nash, paddywhack, over 108.5 receiving yards, and Robert Henry over 57.5 rushing yards, what everything came out at. It is 5:08 p.m. Central Time, so none of these games have started yet. I'm getting an early jump on these Saturday games, and we are going to get right into these games. We are not going to be breaking down a ton. This is going to be rapid fire today. It's week 11, right? Week 11 in college football, so everybody knows what these teams are about. I'm just going to give my advice, my 2 cents. You guys can bet wherever you want. You guys can do the rest. I'm just giving advice. We're going to start with the biggest game of the day, Indiana going up against Ohio State. Not sure how this got to be a story about Indiana being an underdog. It's not David versus Goliath. Indiana is a top 10 ranked team in the country. I'm not entirely sure why everybody's saying that this is an underdog story. I get that Indiana isn't usually here, but I think this is a good football team. Everything that we've seen so far this season says they're a good football team. They killed teams that they're supposed to beat by 1 billion. They've beaten middle-of-the-pack teams by 20-plus points. This is their first test going up against, I believe, the second-best team in the nation. I still think Oregon tops Ohio State. They have the record to prove that, but this is just going to be a couple of top 10 teams going to head-to-head. I do think that Indiana's a pretty good team. I'm going to take the points, plus 10.5. I'm really hoping for a good game. I can see Ohio State winning this one by 10 plus points or more, but from everything that we've seen so far, I think Indiana's a pretty good team. So I'm going to take Indiana with the points. Again, not sure where the underdog story is coming from there. Let's go to the next game. We're going to be looking at BYU going up against Arizona State. The Big 12 has lost all sorts of momentum this season. They might not even get a team in the playoffs. It's going to be incredibly hard for that to happen, but it is possible that the Big 12 just eats itself alive. I think BYU might be dead. They've been playing with fire for the last several games. They just lost to Kansas outright. Last week, Arizona State's playing some really good football, probably the best or second best football out of everybody in the conference besides maybe Colorado. Arizona, they like to ground and pound. Arizona, they play decent defense. They control the ball. BYU, the defense hasn't been great this season. BYU's offense, especially the passing attack, hasn't been really that good this season either. I think Arizona State wins this game pretty easily. I'm going to take them -3 as the play here. And for the final play on the big plays, the 3 games that I think are the 3 biggest games I think of the day, Army going up against Notre Dame. Army is better than Navy. Army has a slight chance of making it to the college football playoffs. This is the awesome story. This is the underdog story. This is the team that should be the underdog story. I'm going to play Army. I think the only reason why people are scared off of Army is because what Notre Dame did to Navy. Navy doesn't have a defense. Army has a pretty good defense. They can stop the run at times. They've been pretty good in the secondary. I don't think Navy's anywhere close to the talent that Army has. And I think giving Army 14.5 points, that is insane. That's crazy town. The logic is there with that Navy game, but Army's much better than Navy. They're going to control the clock in this game. They have a player on their team that should be invited to New York for the Heisman ceremony, and Bryson Daly. I think he's one of the best players in the country. He's got the numbers to back it up. Army's going to play well in this game. Giving them 14.5, that's insane to me. I understand Notre Dame's a pretty good team. They play great defense. But again, 14.5 to Army. Army can go the entire quarter with the ball. It wouldn't be the first time they've done that. They love to control the ball. This 14.5 makes no sense. Maybe it makes so much less sense. Oh, maybe it makes so – wait a minute. I'm in a blender. Maybe it makes no sense whatsoever that the play is Notre Dame. Can't be. Cannot be. I won't be swayed. I will not be swayed. Navy played horrible. They turned the ball over every chance they got. Army won't turn the ball over. Army gets the turnovers. Army controls the clock. Army wins this game outright. Outright. Both plays, 14.5 and money line as the 2 plays. Let's go to the player props. We're going to start with Ole Miss going up against Florida. I'm going to talk about this game in a little bit, but we have seen Mississippi play with urgency over the last several games after they dropped the game against Kentucky. The famous Jackson Dart press conference saying that we got to win them all, no other option. Well, he's right. And they're doing what they're saying as well. So good for Jackson Dart and the entire team. Florida's a dumpster fire program. Even though they did give you the money line last week, I do not trust Billy Napier whatsoever. That was a spot game for Florida. LSU coming off maybe the lowest point of the entire season. They got stomped down by Alabama. They have no chance of the playoffs. That was a spot game for Florida. The play in this game is going to be Trey Harris. He's going to be back on the field. He's one of the best players in college football, one of the best wide receivers in college football. Florida's been pretty bad defensively this season. They're giving up 420 yards per game, and the secondary has been gashed at times. We have seen Ole Miss throw the ball all over the field, basically against every single team. I'm going to be taking Trey Harris in this one. He's going to have 100-plus yards in this one, over 93.5 as the first play. For the next play, we're going to be looking at Kansas going up against Colorado. Going to be breaking down this game as well, but this one should fly over the total. I can see a lot of points being scored in this game. Colorado defensively has been a lot better than last season, especially at stopping the run. I just don't think it's going to matter in this one. If Kansas gets things going and they start ground and pound on Colorado, Kansas has a chance to win this game, but usually Kansas likes to open up the play action after they establish the run. Kansas, Arizona State, and Colorado. I've talked about teams on the Big 12 playing their best football. Those three teams right now playing their best football. Kansas does need to give the ball to this guy, though, to win this game. Devin Neal, over 93.5 rushing yards as the play. Colorado has been a little bit better on the ground stopping the run, but they're still giving up nearly 140 yards per game. Devin Neal coming off of one of the worst games of the season, but there is no way Kansas doesn't give him the ball in this game. This is one of the leaders for Kansas. They only go as far as Neal usually takes them because basically we see Daniels have so many turnover problems that Leipold has no other option but to keep the ball on the ground. I do think we're going to see him have 15-plus touches once again in this game. Usually whenever that happens, Devin Neal goes for 100-plus yards. So I'm going to go with over 93.5 as the play here. And for the final player prop of the day, Army going up against Notre Dame. We've already talked about this game, and it's going to be one of the best players at the quarterback position this season. A leader of men on the field, a leader of men off the field, Bryson Daly. He's going to find the end zone in this game. He's got some incredible numbers. Army, as you guys know, they really don't like to throw the ball. They can throw the ball at times if they need to, but Bryson Daly has 644 yards and 7 touchdowns through the year. That's the best an Army quarterback has done throwing the ball in a long time, but the most impressive thing about Daly is his physicality running the football. You know the clip in The Longest Yard where the guy looks over to the sideline and says, "That's how a white man runs the football." Probably not the best comment in the world to say. I know a lot of people get mad at that kind of stuff, but guess what? This is how a white man runs the football. He's 6 foot tall, 221 pounds. He puts his body on the line basically every single play. He's had over 100-plus rushing yards in 8 consecutive games for Army, and he's found the end zone in 8 of the 9 games, scoring 7 consecutive games. On the season, he has rushed 174 times, 1,062 yards, 21 rushing touchdowns. That's 2-1 rushing touchdowns for the quarterback. I just looked it up. The anytime touchdown for Bryson Daly, currently minus 135. This is going to be a 2-unit play for myself. I don't care that Notre Dame's on the other side. I have watched Army play football nearly 5 or 6 times this season. This team will be competitive going up against Notre Dame. They're going to move the ball up and down the field. Final play of the day, player prop side. Bryson Daly, anytime touchdown, coming off back-to-back games, having 30-plus carries. Love the play there. Let's go to the recap. We have 3 more plays to talk about. Short and sweet to the point. We're going to look at Ole Miss going up against Florida. Florida, last week's spot start. I already said it against LSU. I guess I should have said lowest point of the season for LSU. They lost their chance to make the playoffs. They came in that game in horrible mood, horrible everything. Florida took advantage of that. Good for Florida. They're still a horrible program. Ole Miss is a better team. I think Mississippi has a legitimate shot to make some noise in the playoffs whenever that time comes. But this is a team who has great defense. They say defense does travel. So I'm going to take Ole Miss here, minus 11 as the play. For the next one, we have Colorado going up against Kansas. Not going to get cute here. I'm going to take Colorado minus 3. I think the hot play for tomorrow is going to be Kansas plus 3 or Kansas on the money line. It's for a good reason. You know, Kansas has been incredible over the last couple days. They knocked off Iowa State. They knocked off BYU. They're going for all the top teams of the Big 12 just to try to muddy up the waters. But Colorado, they put up 49 against Utah. Utah is the best defense in this conference. Utah is one of the best defensive teams in the nation. Colorado, this is an incredible team right now. I'm a big hand-up guy. You guys know that. Look at the hand. It's up. I said Sanders, the quarterback, Shador, he didn't look great last season. He didn't look great at the start of the season. I said he wasn't going to be that good this season. I said he's probably not going to be an NFL quarterback, probably not going to be that good. Hand up. I did this a couple weeks ago. He's one of the best players in college football. I was wrong about this kid. He's been incredible over the last several weeks. He's gotten a lot of help from the offensive line this year. They did a good job bringing those guys in, and they also have the Heisman on their team, so that helps them a lot as well. But what Coach Prime has been doing, what Shedeur Sanders has been doing offensively. This Colorado team, they're insane. I'm ready to watch them in the playoffs. I'm going to take Colorado here. Don't get cute, -3 as the player for the final play of the day. We're going to be looking at the Suck Bowl. Both these programs over the last several seasons in football has high expectations. They either choke or disappoint in the worst ways possible. I'm taking Wisconsin here on the money line because I want to. I just want to. I think Wisconsin has been playing a little bit better over the last couple of games. They had Oregon. They gave everything Oregon could handle and even more. They had a lot of opportunities to win that game, but guess what? Wisconsin did choke. Nebraska, with the new coordinator last week, they did look a little bit better, but they're still a team who cannot win a one-possession game. This is most likely going to be a one-possession game, so that means Nebraska will not win. I'm going to take Wisconsin on the money line as the final play. Let's take a look at all the plays. Indiana, +10.5, best game of the day. Hopefully it is the best game of the day. It's the most hyped-up game tomorrow. Arizona State, -3, Army, +14.5, and on the money line going up against Notre Dame. I hate myself for saying that, by the way. Notre Dame. Ole Miss, -11 going up against Florida. Florida spot start spot start last week, not this week. Wisconsin money line, Nebraska can't win one-possession games. Then Colorado, -3, not getting cute. Trey Harris, over 94.5 receiving yards. We're going to go Devin Neal, over 92.5 rushing yards. And then Bryson Daly, -135, anytime touchdown. Guys, this is going to do it for this Plays and Props for Saturday, November 23rd slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please share, drop a like in this video, and subscribe down below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.